My name is Lila Hart. I'm 28. I woke from a 3-week coma to an empty hospital room. No father, no brothers, no cards, just a single sheet of heavy stationery on my bedside table, watermarked, printed with Hart Residence, Greenwich, Connecticut. My father's handwriting sat beneath it. Lila, we've decided to stop covering your medical expenses. Your brothers agree it's time you handle things on your own. Good luck. Dad, I read it 4 times. Then I cried until my throat went raw. The lights buzzed. A limp bouquet of carnations slumped on the windowsill. A nurse named Marin checked my vitals and told me I'd been unconscious for 22 days. Has anyone been here? I rasped. She hesitated. A woman came by last week. Signed papers. Said future bills go to you. She brought the flowers. I didn't have to ask which woman. I work ICU nights in Stamford, and I've been paying my own way for years. But my emergency contact was still my father, because some part of me kept expecting him to act like one. He hadn't. I stared at the ceiling and did the math anyway. ICU, surgery, specialists, rehab, numbers piling up while my body still couldn't sit up without shaking. But my father made one mistake. He forgot what my mother left behind. And he forgot about the man who would walk into my room on day 3. Gray suit, leather briefcase, a calm that didn't belong in a place like this. Before I tell you about him, I need to take you back to the beginning. The Greenwich house with the iron gate, the walnut table set for 4, and the night I learned that needing someone could be treated like a crime. Greenwich looked like a postcard, a test, facade, pool, 3-car garage, my father's kingdom. On Sundays, my stepmother Celeste set 4 places. Dad at the head, Celeste beside him, my brother Miles across, and sometimes Jonah if he was in town. There was never a 5th chair. When I tried showing up anyway, Celeste smiled and said, "Oh, Lila, we didn't expect you. Let me see if we have enough." Dad never looked up from his phone. I kept trying because I'd been trained to. When I was 12, I played a recital in a school gym. Dad promised to pick me up at 8:30. He didn't come. I waited under fluorescent lights, calling his voicemail until my throat tightened. Finally, I called my mother, Elise. "Stay inside, baby," she said. "I'm coming." It was a March downpour that turned roads into rivers. A pickup hydroplaned through a red light and hit her driver's side. They pronounced her dead at Stamford Hospital at 9:47. My father arrived an hour later, stood over me in my recital dress, and said, "Your mother drove out in that storm because of you." At the funeral, my grandmother, Nora Ellis, held me and whispered, "Your mom made sure you'll be taken care of." I thought she meant heaven. 2 years later, Celeste moved in, precise. Photos disappeared. The piano vanished. My bedroom became an office. When I asked if Mom left any papers, Dad's gaze went flat. "She left debt. I cleaned it up. Don't bring her up again." So I swallowed everything. Until my coma and the note and the question that wouldn't stop clawing. If I'm worth nothing, why do they need my signature? On day 3, a man in a gray suit knocked and waited. "Martin Calloway," he said, setting a leather briefcase on my tray. "Trustee for the Elise Hart Irrevocable Trust. I've been trying to reach you since you turned 25. Certified letters went to the Greenwich house, all signed for." "By Celeste," I rasped. He slid out proof, my mother's signature, a notary stamp, and a deed. The address punched the air from my lungs. 14 Edgewater Lane. "Your mother bought it before she married your father," Calloway said. "It went into trust for you. Your father has been living there and using it as collateral." 16 years of being told I was a burden cracked into anger with a direction. A week later, sore but upright, I walked into my father's charity gala in a plain blazer. He was on stage, glowing, calling himself self-made. Celeste watched from the front table. When the applause faded, I raised the deed. Calloway's voice carried, title, trust, intercepted mail, false collateral. A banker in the crowd stood, face tightening, and said the deal was suspended. My father tried his grin. I met it and kept my voice level. You told a 12-year-old girl she killed her mother, I said. That lie ends tonight. Jonah crossed the room and stood beside me. He didn't speak, just stayed. By June, the trust was in my hands. I paid the hospital, closed my father out, and sold the house. I moved into a small place with honest light. I framed one photo of my mother and breathed like someone allowed to live.